Hey everybody, this is Deb Coviello, Drop-In CEO, Live Talk Media, and I just want to thank you for joining me on another episode. This week I'm going to talk about a topic that I'm asked so often by people. How did you reinvent yourself? How did you start a business? How did you build the Drop-In CEO brand? And, I could go right there and give you the tactical details of how I went about doing that, but I don't think that necessarily serves you in the best way. So let's just step back a little bit and talk about purpose. It is so fundamental to the work that I've done. And so we're going to stay there a little bit before I share a little bit about the drop in CEO journey or that of Deb Coviello. Um, I am writing a book right now, and it is called The CEO's Compass Getting You Back on Track. And it is a compass, and it's got 8 points. And one of the compass points that I find that sometimes all you need is to spend time on in order to get you back on track is to truly understand your purpose. And I know there is a lot written on this and finding your why. And I don't really care about that. I'm going to share with you why it was important to me, my journey, because I think we're trying to establish a connection here. And if anything in my journey resonates with you, maybe it'll spark an idea, a thought, something you've been meaning to do to get you back on track. So the CEO's compass is for everybody. It is not just for the senior business leader, CEO, though I write the book in the context of that genre. But if you think and you look and you read the book and some of what I'm going to share with you, it pertains to anybody, regardless of where you're at in your career, whether you're a mid career professional who's a little stuck or an entrepreneur who's been doing very well on their own and they're stuck. And then also there is that emerging leader. You're so talented and then you get stuck. So let's just go a little bit into my journey. And again, I hope some of this stuff definitely resonates with you. So people ask me, how did you reinvent yourself? How did you build your brand? Now, I have the good fortune of working for some fantastic companies, most recently in the last 18 years, flavor, fragrance, food companies. And in that corporate environment, I enjoyed, I would say, the riches of having access to people and technology and training and opportunity. And so I've been able to build my technical capability over the years. But I don't think it was until the last couple years that I started getting a little bit uncomfortable, getting a little stuck, and saying, I think this is my purpose, but it may not have fit the current environment. So it's a journey. I'm still on this journey, but let's just step back about 2.5 years ago when I left the corporate environment. And I will tell you, it was a very challenging time for me. I was unsure of myself. I wasn't sure what the next step was. I knew I didn't want to go backwards within the confines of a larger corporation. Again, afforded me the opportunity to build my capability and my skills, but I needed to move on. And so if that's you, knowing you need to move on, it's okay. And the other thing I want to share with you is it's okay to feel uncomfortable, to feel a little bit lost, because I think you have to go to that part of being uncomfortable for you to be able to go through the cycle and come out of it. Now, how do you get comfortable again? It's really a time of reflection. So I did spend a lot of time reading, a lot of time writing, thinking, walking, talking to people, and just being in a place where I had to start saying, what was I really good at? Because you don't want to give up what you were really good at. And in my case, I was very good at operational excellence. I understand operations. I understand process improvement. I understand quality. Preserve what you're really good at, and you should write that down. Sometimes we talk about a SWOT analysis, but again, understand your strengths and your weaknesses. But I go a step further. It's a little bit different. What are you really good at? And it may be completely different than what you've been technically praised for and compensated for. And I talk about my vault assessment in the book that I'm writing, but it's really doing that internal value assessment. And in my case, I was really good at communicating. And even more importantly, I was really good at active listening because that came from my problem solving training, being able to listen to chaos, to crisis, individual voices, and be able to absorb that and reframe it in a concise statement, sometimes a problem statement, and everybody would just calm down and say yes. That's where we need to start from. So that's what I talk about: strengths, great technical strengths, and also understand what you're good at. I was good at creating, I was good at communicating, listening, writing, media. How can we turn that into something valuable? So that's step one if you want to understand about reinventing yourself. But let's just go a little bit further into that. During that time and journey, it was about purpose. Who am I here to serve? Who am I here to help? Myself, my family, community, my career. And I'll just fast forward what it came down to and just know, even if you land on something, it continually evolves, because you never know, the next client, the next customer, the next person says, you'd be good at that. Let's try that. And it may take you in a completely different direction. So that's okay. So my purpose: working and servicing small and medium sized companies going through rapid change by partnering with CEOs, owners, senior business leaders with my technical knowledge to be able to elevate them and solve the issue, but at the same time, elevating the people for a lasting impact and helping their essential skills. So that's my purpose. And that's what I'm here to do and serve. And I think that's something that you should take away as step two, is trying to understand your purpose, but be open that the purpose will continue to change. Step three, the network. I had no external network when I left corporate. I had a great internal network, but I'll tell you, it takes a village to grow a person, to grow a brand. You need the network. And that was the thing that I started doing. I said, I can't create business cards. I can't do a PowerPoint with my training offers. I needed a network. People needed to know that I was out there, what my intentions were. And through networking, I was able to hone what my purpose is and see if it resonated with people and if I was on the right track. So, time to pause and reflect, find your purpose, network. You need everybody. And then finally, the brand. Now, what is personal brand? It's a hard topic, but it's one of those things that just makes you unique. You need to embrace what makes you peculiar, interesting, different, strange, all those things that you were trying to hide all along. It's time to get over yourself. And I'll take that phrase from Peter Gorel, one of my mentors, who just said, get over yourself, let the true you come out. That's part of the branding. But the story I share with a lot of people is when I was asked on a podcast interview, what is it that you do? And I said, well, I'm kind of like the drop in CEO. I drop into situations that are a little chaotic. I assess the landscape. I fix the business problem. I elevate the people for a lasting impact, because there was somebody in my past that did exactly that. And his behavior really impacted me. So I said the drop in CEO. And that resonates with people. And then oh my God, that's the brand. The brand: trust, confidence, and a little bit creative. That's how it was built. And so there's no magic bullet on how to create a brand, but it is that unique quality that you carry with yourself. And you're not going to see it right away. But I propose to you: post-it notes and your whiteboard become your friend. Get out from behind the computer and start throwing ideas up on the wall. It's what you're thinking about who you are. More importantly, it's what your network is saying about you and what are your strengths? What are you good at? What are you passionate about? Listen a lot. And then also look around. You could be listening to a podcast. You could be reading a book. You could see a stop sign or something that just a name, a phrase, a word pops out at you. And that should be going on to your brand board. And I can promise you, given a little bit of time, start looking at what is starting to resonate and start watching how things are lining up for you. You may find that you can create a brand that's truly unique to yourself. And so, connection. Fifth thing is connection. You need to let people know that you're out there. So it's not just networking, but I obviously did it through podcasting, the Drop In CEO podcast. Thank you to everybody who is listening to that. We're trying to grow it. We're looking for more guests who can inspire and provide insights for all of you out there. It is about writing. It is about attending webinars. It's about my emails and my connection with you, trying to build the Drop In CEO community, taking your feedback, evolving my offers so we can elevate everybody. Connection. You have to find the way that you can connect with people. Next to the last tip, and this is something that I never had, and it may not be relevant to you, but wherever you've been weakened and wherever you've never had to operate, sales and marketing. I didn't know anything about sales and marketing, but you really don't have to be a salesy person. You have to be very confident about who you are, how you connect with people, what your messages are, And what are your offers? It took me a long time to learn that. And for me, that was one of the biggest growth opportunities and still is for me. But again, outreach like this is being able to provide you some kind of value, connect with you. And if we don't talk now, maybe we talk in the future. And my seventh tip for you, think about a mentor, two or three. Think about people that advise you, that maybe tell you things you don't like to hear. Mentors, advisors give you an external perspective, help grow your mind, and think about what's possible for you. Don't follow the gurus. Don't follow people's 5, 10, 8, 5-step approach that promise you that you're going to be very successful. It may be interesting to gather data and learn from other people that have done this before you, but you have to find it in yourself. So pause and reflect. Find your purpose, network, build a personal brand, find a way to connect with people, learn a skill, learn a function that you've never done before that rounds out what you do, or find somebody that can do it really well. And then get some trusted people in your circle to help evolve your brand. So that's a little bit about Deb Coviello, the Drop In CEO journey. I'm hoping that some of that resonated with you. There is so much more behind the scenes that I haven't told you about what I've learned, what to do, what not to do in terms of reinventing yourself, finding your new purpose, and finding a way that provides you valuable work, serving others, as well as being very satisfying for yourself. And ultimately, that gets you to peace of mind. And the CEO's compass, the top compass point, is peace of mind. So find your purpose, get on track. That's my dog Reagan, and find your purpose and peace of mind. So if this resonated with you, please leave a comment. I'd love your feedback. If you want more of this, I'll provide that. If you think a webinar might be helpful to just give you a little bit more that I haven't shared with you today on the how, and maybe just having a conversation, I also offer a 15-minute free consultation just to kind of talk about you, your situation, kick around some ideas. It's what we have to do. It's part of networking, and that's how we can build a great connection. So I am so excited that you've given me some time here today to talk about purpose, which is part of the Drop In CEO's Compass, and also about how I went through a challenging time reinventing myself, starting a business, and coming out on the other side and still evolving. Thank you. I wish you all a great day. Thank you so much for everybody that's been supporting me, giving me advice, sharing the best of what they have so that we can involve this community, and wish you all well. Be well. Thank you.